Hey, how's it going? So I'm going to dig into this shot here. This shot is an acting piece, and here's the first 2 seconds of it.
I was a little drunk last night.
He's saying, I was a little drunk last night.
I was a little drunk.
I'm just going to break down this section here and give a before and after. So the first thing I want to do is configure my layout, get it the way I like it. So let's do view, perspective, shot cam, perspective, it's all working. Let's hide some of these things that are not needed to make my scene optimized so it can go as fast as possible. Let's grab these guys. Okay, so this scene's getting optimized. I also want to, show my camera because I don't want to change this. So I'm going to lock everything here. Selected. That way, if I do anything in this viewport, it's not going to move anything. Grab the eyebrows. Shirt. Okay. So these things, everything here should be running a little faster now. Let's specify the frame range to 48 because that's all we're looking at right now. Okay. Now what stands out to me, first of all, I want to find out what controls we're actually working with here. What controls were used, and there's very little. We can see that this is definitely an acting shot. There's very little motion to it, but the motion is what I want to highlight. So from here, let's look at, I just want to look at what keys are actually moving. So it looks like this is not moving in the first 48 frames at least, and that's correct. There's no keys in the first 48 frames. What about this? This control, yes, there is keys, so I'll keep that in mind. No, there's no animation on that control. Yes to that one, yes to that one, and yes to that one. So let's grab the ones that just have animation on it. Was it this one? No. Yes. And just to be sure, I'm going to do a little test here because I want to work with just the controls that have animation, and that's it. So I'm deleting all the keys, and it should be stagnant, and he is. So he's not moving, which tells me those are all the keys that I have, all the controls that I have to work with, and that's all I need to worry about. Okay, so with this, what I'd like to do is isolate the first 48 frames. Make sure I save a key there. And I don't know if this was on purpose, but it looks like there's a key every, what was it, 5 frames? Or 4 frames? What stands out to me is I feel like a bit of the body motion and the head are, let's get the camera out of there. A bit, I don't know, it doesn't matter what I think. All I'm going to do is try something different. Feels maybe a little bit out of sync. So let me get the main poses that I like here. So he comes down here, which is great. Okay, I like that key. This key here. Going to delete that key. I'm trying to do is get all the keyframes for all these controls on the same keys. Let's work from the base up and look at how these curves are. Okay, so what I do is I have sort of a default way of the way curves are supposed to look. And it's all about ease in and ease out. And then maybe delete something that's not needed. And what I'm doing is I'm just looking at keys, try to make sure that it looks like there's no strong hit or anything like that. And I'm not even looking at how this affects the animation, it's just the amount of times I've had to clean up my own keys. I feel like I should have a pretty solid idea of how to do this. Okay. And there's no translation, right? No, it doesn't. Well, actually, yeah, there is. So we're going to have to clean that up as well. So, oops. I don't even know how prevalent these translation keys are. A little bit. And what this is doing is just smoothing things out. Smooth it out a little more. There we go. This guy here, a little bit more ease. And you see, I'm not deleting the keys that I'm not using, like all these out here. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that the keys for all the controls are consistent and I know what frames they're on. Okay, let's look at rotation. I already did Y rotation. Let's look at X rotation. So there's a bit of a jump here. This might not matter, but let's see. I think it's going to matter to me. Let's break this down. This here is a bit of an awkward, I don't know if that's meant to go backwards, but I think I'm going to change this so it doesn't, so that that curve doesn't go backwards, but it continues going forward. And same thing with these. You see, the keys are a little bit more cleaned up. And this looks pretty good. Oh yes, because I already did it. These look pretty decent as well. There's a key out of place here. I just want to make sure that if I move it, if it's gonna mess anything up. Actually, let me look at it from this angle. No, I feel like it'll be okay. Okay, so done with that control. It's just a minor detail to work on the smoothness. This guy here does not have any animation we need to work with, right? Yes, that's correct. Okay, let's look at this guy here. Once again, translation. Did I already work with this guy? Yeah, I just did. This guy. Yes, this is the next one to work on. So there's a lot of keys here, but really it doesn't matter. That's